Cloth is a material we use every single day. It's a fabric made by weaving or knitting threads together. We often call it textile or fabric. Think about what you are wearing right now. It is probably made of cloth. We use it for so many things. Our clothes keep us warm and protect our skin from the sun. Our bed sheets and blankets give us comfort when we sleep. The curtains on our windows give us privacy. Cloth is all around us, a constant part of our lives. It's so common that we might not even think about how truly essential it is for our daily comfort and survival. The threads used to make cloth come from different sources. These sources are called fibers. There are two main types: natural fibers and synthetic fibers. Natural fibers come from plants and animals. Cotton is a soft fiber that grows around the seeds of a cotton plant. Wool comes from the fleece of sheep. Silk is a fine, strong thread made by silkworms. Linen comes from the flax plant. On the other hand, we have synthetic fibers. These are man-made. Scientists create them in labs using chemicals. Examples include polyester, nylon, and rayon. These fibers are often strong and can be made to have special qualities, like being waterproof. So, why is cloth so important? First, it gives us protection. In cold places, woolly jumpers keep us warm. In hot countries, light cotton clothes protect us from the sun's harsh rays. Before cloth was invented, people had to use other things to cover themselves. They used large leaves, grass, and animal skins. These materials worked, but they were not as comfortable or flexible as woven fabric. Animal skins were heavy and difficult to clean. Cloth was a massive step forward for early humans. It made life easier and safer, allowing people to live in different climates all over the world. Beyond just protection, cloth also helps us express ourselves. It is a huge part of our culture and identity. The clothes we choose to wear can show who we are. They can tell people about our jobs, our beliefs, or our personality. Think about a doctor's white coat or a judge's robes. These are uniforms made of cloth that signal a person's role in society. Different cultures around the world have their own traditional clothing. These garments are often decorated with unique patterns and colors. They tell stories about a community's history and values. Cloth connects us to our past and to each other. The history of cloth is as old as human civilization itself. Archaeologists have found evidence of cloth making from thousands of years ago. The earliest people wove threads from plants like flax to create simple fabrics. It was a slow and difficult process. Everything had to be done by hand. In ancient India, people mastered the art of growing and spinning cotton. They produced soft, breathable fabrics that were perfect for the hot climate. In ancient China, the discovery of silk changed everything. Legend says an empress discovered it around 2700 BC. Silk became a highly prized luxury, so valuable that the trade route connecting China to Europe was named the Silk Road. Different parts of the world became famous for their special textiles. For centuries, India was the world's cotton expert, creating beautiful prints and dyes. China was the home of silk, a fabric so secret that revealing its production method was punishable by death. In Europe, wool and linen were the most common fabrics for a very long time. People raised sheep for their wool, which was spun into thread and woven into warm cloth. These materials were vital for surviving the cold European winters. The trade in these valuable cloths helped cities grow and kingdoms become rich. It was a global business long before we used that term. Then, a huge change happened in the 1700s and 1800s. It was called the Industrial Revolution. It started in Britain and spread across the world. New machines were invented, like the spinning jenny and the power loom. These machines could spin thread and weave cloth much faster than any person could by hand. Suddenly, cloth could be made in massive quantities in large factories. This made fabric much cheaper and more available to ordinary people. It was a massive shift. For the first time, most people could afford to have more than just one or two outfits. Fashion as we know it began to take shape. The Industrial Revolution changed not just how cloth was made, but also society itself. Big factories were built, and people moved from the countryside to cities to find work in the textile mills. This created new social and economic challenges. The demand for raw materials like cotton also grew massively. This had a dark side. as it increased the demand for enslaved labor on cotton plantations, particularly in America. The story of cloth is not just about pretty fabrics. It is deeply connected to trade, technology, and the major social changes that have shaped our modern world. It's a story of innovation, but also of struggle. Making cloth is a fascinating journey with several steps. It all begins with collecting the fibers. For natural fibers like cotton, this means harvesting the fluffy white bolls from the plant. For wool, it means shearing the fleece from a sheep. For silk, it involves carefully unwinding the long, delicate filament from a silkworm's cocoon. For synthetic fibers, the process starts in a laboratory where chemicals are mixed and heated to create a liquid. This liquid is then forced through tiny holes to form long threads. This first step is crucial, as the quality of the fiber determines the quality of the final fabric. Once the fibers are collected, they need to be cleaned and prepared. Raw cotton contains seeds and bits of leaves that must be removed. Raw wool is greasy and dirty and must be washed thoroughly. After cleaning, the fibers go through a process called carding. This involves brushing the fibers with special wire brushes. Carding untangles the fibers and arranges them all in the same direction, forming a soft, thick rope called a sliver. This step is like combing messy hair. It makes the fibers straight and ready for the next stage, which is spinning them into thread. This preparation is key to making a strong, even yarn. The next step is spinning. This is where the magic really happens. The prepared fibers are twisted together to create a long, continuous thread called yarn. For thousands of years, this was done by hand using a simple tool called a spindle, or later, a spinning wheel. Today, large industrial machines do this work at incredible speed. The amount of twist given to the fibers affects the strength and texture of the yarn. A tighter twist makes a stronger yarn, while a looser twist creates a softer, bulkier yarn. This yarn is then wound onto large bobbins, ready for the final production stage. Finally, the yarn is turned into cloth. The most common method is weaving. Weaving involves using a machine called a loom. Two sets of threads, the warp and the weft, are interlaced at right angles to each other to create a solid piece of fabric. Another method is knitting, which uses needles to loop yarn together. After the cloth is made, it often goes through finishing processes. It might be bleached to make it white, dyed to add color, or printed with patterns. It can also be treated to make it softer, water-resistant, or less likely to wrinkle. After all these steps, the fabric is ready to be cut and sewn into the products we use every day. In our modern world, the uses of cloth go far beyond just clothing and home furnishings. Think about the inside of a car. The seats, the carpets, and the roof lining are all made of special, durable textiles. In hospitals, doctors and nurses use sterile cloth gowns, masks, and bandages. These are designed to be hygienic and safe. Firefighters wear uniforms made from special fire-resistant fabrics that can withstand intense heat. Even astronauts in space wear complex suits made from many layers of high-tech textiles to protect them from the extreme conditions outside their spacecraft. Cloth is a key material in almost every industry. The cloth industry is also a massive part of the global economy. It creates millions of jobs all around the world. There are jobs in farming cotton, raising sheep, working in textile mills, designing clothes, and selling the final products in shops. Some countries are famous for producing specific valuable cloths. For example, Egypt is known for its high-quality Egyptian cotton, which has extra long fibers that make it incredibly soft and strong. Italy is renowned for its luxury silk and fine wool fabrics, often used by top fashion designers. Belgium is famous for its beautiful and intricate linen. These textiles are not just products. They are a source of national pride and economic strength. Cloth remains a powerful form of cultural expression and personal identity. Today, fashion is a global industry that allows people to experiment with their style. The clothes we buy and wear can make a statement. They can show our support for sustainable brands or our love for a certain music subculture. Traditional garments also continue to be important. A Scottish kilt, a Japanese kimono, or an Indian sari are more than just clothes. They are symbols of heritage, worn during special ceremonies and celebrations. They connect people to their history and community in a very visible and powerful way. In conclusion, cloth is one of humanity's most important inventions. It has been with us on every step of our journey, from ancient caves to modern cities. It protects us from the elements, gives us comfort, and drives our economies. It allows us to express our creativity and celebrate our diverse cultures. The story of cloth is the story of human progress and innovation. From the first hand-woven linen to the high-tech fabrics of today, this simple material has woven itself into the very fabric of our lives. It is a thread that connects us all, across time and across the world.